Did you know that most dog owners struggling with leash aggression or reactivity make the costly mistake of thinking that an obedience class, command, or even teaching impulse control is going to teach their dog to stop barking and lunging at other dogs? And unfortunately, they make a costly mistake of trying these things over and over and getting more frustrated while their dog continues to get worse and worse. And I totally get it. It's really common to think that a class or a command is going to teach your dog to stop barking and lunging, but it just doesn't work that way. That's like going to an Italian restaurant and expecting to see tacos on the menu. Smart dog owners know that there are 3 different dog training categories that all problems fit into. Category number 1 is puppy socialization. This is by far the most underutilized program. Socialization is the process of strategically and intentionally building your puppy's confidence so that things can get thrown at them and it becomes fun and not scary. You see, puppies are born underdeveloped, which means they can't hear, they can't see, and they can't walk. They develop fear gradually over time. A large portion of your puppy's confidence or lack of confidence is developed by the time he is 12 weeks old. That means that barking, lunging, biting, shyness, growling, and fears start to develop during that first 12 weeks of your puppy's life. And because puppies are little and vulnerable, they may not act on those fears until they are bigger and stronger. Those fears can easily go unnoticed to the untrained eye. If you don't want your dog to growl, bark, lunge, bite, or snap, then you must intentionally add positive experiences at this age. If you've already missed this 12-week window, you still have a chance. Puppies continue to develop fears over the next 18 months of their life. They go through several fear periods that can shape the rest of their life. So think of puppy socialization as preschool for a human, where the focus is more on building social relationships and less on arithmetic. If you have a dog over 18 months old with fears, don't worry, you're going to learn about that category in just a bit. The Dog Training Academy is one of my premier online programs, and it has a module specifically focusing on puppy socialization because it is so important. All right, category number 2 is manners or obedience. This category will teach your dog an action like sit, stay, or come. All dogs need to learn some manners. And this is the most common training category and the one that you're probably most familiar with. You may have taken a group class to teach your dog some manners. So I want you to think of manners or obedience as like grade school for humans, where you learn math and English, history and art. So the Dog Training Academy's main focus is on teaching your dog an action like sit, stay, come. While all dogs need to learn how to live by our human standards, there are some good manners that are not normally taught in group classes or in obedience class. And that takes us to category number 3, behavior modification. This category is for behavior problems like barking, lunging, biting, snapping, growling, fear issues, separation anxiety, aggression, resource guarding, and possessiveness. These are bigger issues that need a strategic plan focusing on dog body language so that you can predict what your dog will do and then change that emotional response using a process that includes, but is not limited to, counter-conditioning and desensitization. Treating any of these problems requires the guidance of a certified professional dog trainer. For example, our Barkaholics program gives you a detailed step-by-step plan to teach you how to get a dog to stop barking and lunging at people or dogs. Think of behavior modification like psychotherapy for a human, counseling. Because of the complexity and skill and education required, you need a professional dog trainer. These programs are more intense and more expensive, but well worth it when done correctly. Now you might be thinking, isn't my dog supposed to be obedient to me even when he's having anxiety? Well, fear and anxiety block learning. When a dog is frightened, his brain kicks in immediately into the survival mode. He has an internal response or a physiological response before you see any external response. For example, if your dog barks at another dog during your walk, then you see the barking and you might think that saying no or leave it will work. But internally, your dog's heart rate is increasing, his muscles are tensing, his blood pressure is rising, and the brain is sending hormones to prepare his body for fight or flight. As a result of the internal responses, your dog cannot respond to your commands. Using corrections or training collars has been proven to increase the fear response, making it more severe and causing aggression. The only effective, safe, and humane way to work through behavior problems is with a strategic plan that includes counterconditioning and desensitization. So there you have it, the 3 dog training categories: puppy socialization, manners or obedience, and behavior modification. Which category does your dog fit into? And some of you might have a dog that fits into both. That's totally okay. So let me know which of those 3 categories your dog fits into. Leave it in the comments below or hit reply and send me an email. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll talk to you soon.